is very close, and we're going to have to talk a little bit about how it's going to go down. So, as we already discussed, we're going to do a simulation of an arbitration proceeding, which means that you're not going to be pleading in front of a judge. You're going to be pleading in front of a panel of arbitrators, chaired by one of them. And to the right-hand side of the arbitrators, as you can see in this drawing, you will have the claimant, and to the left-hand side, you are going to have the respondent. Everybody is going to be seated because this shows the very informal nature of the session. And if you want to address one another, so if you want to address one party or the other, you could use the format of a learned colleague. When it comes to the order of pleadings, it is of course the claimant who is going to start once the panel is going to give the floor to the claimant, and every single person in the team of the claimant is going to plead for 5 minutes. This is the case when the team has 3 members. If the team has 2 members alone, then it's for the team to determine whether they want to plead the individual amount of time or the entire amount of time allotted for a normal team. After the claimant, the floor is going to go to the respondent. And keep in mind that during the pleadings, there is going to be 1 question per person that the panelists are going to ask you. After that, the floor goes back to the claimant. There is going to be a rebuttal. The rebuttal has to slightly address what the respondent is going to speak about in their own pleadings, and then back to the respondent, who is going to have to address what the claimant stated in their rebuttal. Let us take a look at how you can prepare for the pleadings. Well, there are so many things that we can mention, but let us just give you 5 tips. First, try to be aware of your body language. What exactly is it that your hands are doing? And try to ask yourself this question. If all the sounds fade away, what is the impression that you're giving? Is it that you're comfortable and confident, or is it that you really don't want to be there? Now, the second thing that you can take into account is the fact that you are in an argumentation competition. So, of course, that you need to be persuasive. How are you going to do that? The fact that you can use all these kind of very small tools, such as your voice, or the fact that at certain moments in time you get enthusiastic. But do keep in mind that whatever you do, don't be afraid to pause. Pause is going to make any message stronger. Moving to the more substantive aspects, of course that you've done so much research that you want to showcase it properly. So be very mindful of the structure that you use. And I think that the most important thing that you can start with is to focus on the arguments that really make your case. Don't put light on your weaknesses. Probably the most common complaint that you will ever have to make when you are part of the audience is that a presentation is boring. Well, keep in mind that this time we are the audience. So, of course that we want to listen to legal arguments, but add a twist on them. Try to make them real. Try to talk about real issues that are faced by real people. Try to create some exercises in which we can visualize these things. It's going to be so much better for everyone. And last but not least, do practice. I believe this is the most important thing that you can do. Because if you feel that you have butterflies in your stomach thinking about the day of your pleading, that pretty much says that you haven't really practiced enough. Try to practice with your friends, try to practice with your peer mentor, try to ask for tips, advice, whatever you can from people who look at you or hear you plead. You can also always try to do exercises with the mirror, as awkward as it might sound, or what you can also do is record yourself. But whatever you do or you don't, at the end of the day, just remember to have fun with this. This is the bottom line. If you ask me, whenever you get to the point where you manage to enjoy what you're doing, that's when you can make a significant contribution. So let the games begin.